can you imagine how many millions were made out of the Loch Ness legend in Scotland? Hi everyone, welcome to this new video, the second and last part of the short Highland trip I went on at the beginning of October. In the previous episode we visited Glen Etive and Fort William, where I learned interesting facts about some of my Scottish ancestors, including world-famous mountaineer Hamish McInnes. I'll link the video here on the upper right of the screen in case you missed it. After spending a night in Fort William, my grandmother and I proceeded towards Inverness, but on the way there we stopped for a light lunch in Kingussie, a pretty village I had never heard about before this two-night trip. We spent the second night in Aviemore, but before checking in, we visited a church just outside Inverness and then Loch Ness, which I had visited when I was 4 years old, so I didn't remember much about it. The reason of our Highland trip was to come here to this church to visit two family friends who are buried here, and so that's why we decided to come to the Highlands.
Starry eyes and cellophane, she takes her walk, she makes her plans. A truck bails down the avenue, there's broken glass, a missing pew.
Reflected in the water, and then suddenly this thing came up, and I can see it still with the water rolling off it, and I yelled at my husband, "Stop! The beast!"
I was wrong. Maybe time's too strong. Are we falling further? Are the lights to take us home when everyone is gone? Are we breaking tidal to ask the question why? We live and then we die. I think I'm fine. Maybe I'll write you from the other side.
Rocket is over 200 years old, and nearby Castle Urquhart has stood watch in one shape or another for over 1400 years. Not the only creatures to call Loch Ness home. Golden eagles, Highland cattle.
And then the water started to bubble and boil, and I saw it. I saw the beast, Gordon. And don't you mock me, I know what I saw.
Who did hear? You'd have heard all about it. Myself now. It has a definite neck.
It's a lost film from 1969. All contacts still happening.
After visiting the Loch Ness Museum, I was curious to see Urquhart Castle, so we drove there, as it's just a 6-minute drive from the museum, but we didn't go inside as it was closing. After that, we started driving back towards Aviemore, but on the way there, we stopped for a tea in, bear with me, Drumnadrochit. Hello everyone, we are in Loch Ness and today we visited the Loch Ness Museum and it was all about Nessie, and my grandma and I were thinking about all the... oh my god, there's a cat. My grandma and I were thinking about all the money that Loch Ness has made after the Loch Ness legend. We are going back to Aviemore now to sleep, but there is a hostel, as you can see. But yeah, imagine all the money that have been made thanks to the Nessie legend. Okay, I actually stopped to take a video of Loch Ness because so far I had no videos of Loch Ness, so what a rubbish video that would have been of Loch Ness without the Loch. So, okay, let's get ready to spot Nessie. Can you imagine how many subscribers I would get if I were to spot Nessie in this moment? I'm already dreaming. But I must say I'm a bit cynical because you must know that the first sighting of Nessie was made in 1933 by the owner of a hotel, which has now been turned into a museum. I mean, not now. I think it's been a museum since the 80s. And so I must say I'm a bit cynical because, you know, but also I don't want to spoil the romance and the history, and also I believe in mysteries and this kind of thing, so I'm not that negative and I'm not always rational or cynical. So the lady, she said she was coming back from Inverness with her husband and they saw she saw something in the loch and it was big like a whale. Can you imagine how many millions were made out of the Loch Ness legend in Scotland? I mean, all the shops, restaurants, hotels, B&Bs, the museum. They said that the hypotheses are that Nessie was a seal, an overgrown eel, some timber, the waves made by boats, or a dinosaur who managed to survive. So, I don't know. What do you think? But so many of the photos which were taken since 1933, they said that they were fake. Who knows?
One day I was so sad that it made me ill. This boy said that he's sorry, but he doesn't feel like he should have, or at least it's how I thought he should. And since that day I'm still wishing he would.
On our last day in the Highlands, we had a fantastic breakfast in the hotel, and then we went for a very short walk in the town centre of Aviemore, which, being an outdoor capital of the Highlands, is full of mountain wear shops. I can only recommend the Cairngorm Hotel as it's in a fantastic location, facing the railway station, and because it has a restaurant and a pub, and this was extremely convenient, and we enjoyed the beautiful live music too. While on our way home, we stopped for tea and cake in pretty Pitlochry, which I had heard about countless times, and I must say it lived up to its name for me. It was really nice, and I wouldn't mind visiting it again with more time on my hands the next time.
Jagged metronome of typewriter keys. A simple thought brings you to me, and I'm thankful that